Well, hey, I'm Luther Kruger, Big Blue Sun Museum of Solar Cooking based in Minneapolis. And I am branching out from the solar cooking videos. Gwe Gasco here at 8th Fire Solar near Osage, Minnesota. And I'm pretty familiar with the lay of the land here. Back in '78, I was at Youth Conservation Corps at Tamarack National Wildlife Refuge.
Just down the road, yep.
So, Gwe, tell me a little about yourself. And always my questions for my cooking channel are, how did you discover solar energy at all in any way, shape, or form, going back as far as it is? So,
well, my name's Gwe Gasco. I am White Earth Ojibwe and Little Traverse Bay Band Odawa from Michigan. I am 24 years old and I've been working here at 8th Fire Solar for about 5 years now. I was out of high school, didn't really have much to do. I was kind of running around as a young man does, and I heard they were hiring, so I stopped by, and the guy that was running the shop here at the time, Ron Chilton, he hired me. I worked for about 2-3 weeks without getting a paycheck, just because I liked, I had something to do.
Sure.
And I knew the people here, and finally got hired on, and I've been here ever since. Right now I am the program coordinator for 8th Fire Solar, which is just a fancy word for wearing a lot of hats and not getting paid enough for them.
Oh, I know, it's kind of a startup. When was 8th Fire started?
Yeah, so we did a technology transfer with our real solar in 2017, and we officially opened in 2018.
Okay.
So we've been around for a while. We've always been a small team, and it's always been kind of hard for us to build that momentum. But when COVID hit us, it really kind of shut everything down for us. We had a few older people on our team that were lead staff, so it was about keeping everyone safe then, So, but we're here still, and we're trying to rebuild that momentum.
Sure. All right. And this is the shop. We're right where it starts.
Yep.
The sheet metal that goes into the panels. Well, great. So we know that's how long. Describe the process starting from the very beginning, how these things are made, and then after we're done, we'll go outside. And you got 5 or 6 on here. You say?
Yeah, five on the back of the building.
Yeah, yep. Nice. Yep. Yeah.
It's a pretty simple process. It's pretty much the same for majority of the collectors out there. There's not too many people that make these collectors, but this is how we do it. This is our duct floor here, and it's all based with aluminum. So the whole system is consistent of aluminum and then some polyiso insulation there. So this is the aluminum duct floor. On the back of that is the absorber, and this is kind of where the heat generation is. The airflow goes through here, comes out the other side. This would be like the first level, kind of the skeleton of the panel, if you will. From here, we would start our construction with the foam core, which is over there. That just consists of some polyiso backing and some side pieces and end pieces to create that insulated box, right? Once we get that box, it's just a matter of keeping that protected. So that's where the frame rail comes in. This is our extrusion, our frame rail. That sits on the sides, and it's kind of the armor of the panel. So that leaves, the glass in the front, and then the frame rail on the sides, and on the back would be that exposed polyiso. So that's good for cutting those inlets and outlets in the panel.
Sure. And the polyiso, I'm familiar with Solar Urban Society that is based in the Twin Cities. That's what they use to insulate their solar cookers. Yeah. And they've got up to 400 degrees or more with their reflectors, and 325 at least in the winter. I've had them up baking my banana bread. Great. So that's describes pretty much the whole process. I'm trying to think of any questions in particular. The polyiso, it's not, you don't need a lot. You just need enough to maintain the heat, right? Yeah, like just kind of hold that. Yeah, inch thick, I think. And then the back sheet there is it gets stacked, so it's 2 layers. That's why we have that press there. Oh, sure. To keep them together. Okay. And that's a 1/2 inch and then 1 inch. That's just for the back sheet. The rest of it's all inch. Sure. And you leave the aluminum layer on both sides when you sandwich them together, or no? So yeah. So if you look at this panel right here, that polyiso on the bottom there, that would be the back sheet. And then the top, that would be, of course, the top. Oh, I see. Okay. So that top piece is what gets covered with the glass. Okay. Oh, is this glass? Oh no, that's aluminum. That's the absorber. Okay, so it's upside down, or what am I missing?
No, see.
Okay.
We take a look at one of these panels over here.
Sure. So tell us about, this is a panel that's pretty close to done, or how far is that?
Yeah, these are finished right here.
Oh, they're finished, okay.
This is our 8-foot panel. We have the 3 sizes. This is the 8-foot. Behind this is the 6-foot, and then we have some 10-foots back here. They're all crated, ready to go.
Right.
But this is the back sheet that I was talking about there. So that's the bottom right there.
Sure.
This is the back sheet. This is where we cut our inlets and outlets. And you can move it around. It's up to 21 inches, so somewhere around here. That's kind of the area you have to play with. So you can move it around depending on if there's a stud in the way, there's a pipe, you know, some wire runs, something like that. So it's kind of versatile like that. But if you come over here, this is the glass right here. So that's what I was talking about.
There we go. Sure.
Below this glass is that absorber sheet right there. So it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
And some glazing cap up here to keep everything down. And
sure.
So when we talk about a system design with multiple panels, this is how we mesh those panels together. So this is our receiver. So we cut a port here on the side of the panel. This goes in there. And then this is our stint, so this goes in between. We have the same thing on the other one. And it pushes them together. I think there's about, you know, a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch of space then, you know, so it's really, really a tight seal.
Yep.
And of course, caulking and all that. And
yeah. And now, those don't go in until you're like on site and installing? You guys do the installs?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
that makes sense. Yeah, so you do the installs and pretty much have to figure out where the studs are, where that thing will slide in. And that's about, is that a 16-inch, kind of assuming a 16-inch stud or 24-inch? Or?
Yeah, just about. Not sure, actually.
I suppose you could customize that too.
Yeah, this is what we have. It's what we always ran with, but we could do different ones, I suppose. But it just depends on the system, really.
Sure.
A lot of what I've done recently, you know, as far as sales and, you know, interest with the panels, it's been a lot of DIY stuff, which is great to see, you know, because I mean it's easier on us as a small team, so we don't have to get, you know, all over the place. But you know, it's also just great to see because, you know, that's kind of the way we need to be heading it back towards, you know, people doing it themselves, homesteading and growing their own food and growing, you know, getting their own energy and stuff like that. So yeah, so the 8-foot, this is our most popular, and it's just a good balance between the size and power of the 10-foot and then the, you know, not taking up so much space, but it's still a pretty big one, about 140 pounds, 150. So
that's 6, 8, and that's 10?
Yep, 10 back here.
And the 8-footer, if that's the most popular, about how many square feet does that heat of a house, or is it cubic feet?
it's always hard to tell.
Yeah.
I just tell people that, you know, before they buy the system, they should probably look at some efficiency measures.
Sure.
Because we can pump as much heat as we want in that building, but if it's got cracks and leaks all over, then what's the point?
That's the deal with our 1899 home. You know, there wasn't any passive solar thinking at all, and the only solar advantage we have is there are a lot more windows on the south side of the house. Yeah. So those rooms tend to be a little warmer.
No, we have the same thing with you know, the tribal housing projects. Is you know, some of them are 30, 40 years old, and they hired architects from out of state to come in, people who don't understand the winter here. So there's huge vaulted ceilings in the living room, so all the heat's going up and out, and
Wow. But what proportion would you say are DIY versus having you put it in for them?
I'd say probably 70%.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I haven't been on an install. Our last one was in Reamer. This lady had a cabin out there, and our boys went out there and installed. I think it was a 2-day process. And that was, geez, almost a year ago now.
Wow.
So yeah, a while ago. Yeah, but if, you know, if we need to go places, we go places. We've been as far as, I think it was Niagara, Wisconsin. That was about 12 or 9 hours for us.
Wow.
We've done installations in New Mexico, training installations, then all over Minnesota. But yeah, you know, that's why I'm glad to talk to you, because it's so, the public knowledge around solar thermal is so minimal. Yeah. You know, it's so underutilized and overshadowed by solar PV.
Yeah.
yeah, we'd love to get some more, knowledge out there.
Now, about solar PV, is there a fan setup that has and it's just solar panels that take care of it?
That's the fan system right there.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So we leave ours bare bone just because, it's a shop and then people can see it.
Yeah.
So we have the fan and we have our ducting that comes with it, and everything we use is just off the shelf.
Sure.
HVAC, simple stuff.
Yeah.
The only pieces people really need to get from us are the controller and the thermostat, and then the panel itself. So the controllers are around 500. The panels are from 16 to 18 to 2,000 for the respective sizes.
Sure.
So that's really anyone needs to get from us is that, and then they can source everything else as far as this is just some simple C channel.
Yeah.
The ducting is all 6-inch, 8-inch ducting, whatever what have you.
Yeah.
So really simple design.
Well, it gives me hope because I can use a reciprocating saw, jigsaw. I can handle a drill. It doesn't sound like I would need to have anything real special. I'd have to have a little understanding of the box, but the instructions are all there, right? Yeah.
Yep. We have a free install manual. We have a training video.
Yeah.
And then I'm always here to help.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. And that's why it's so wonderful. This right here, backyard for me, Minnesota. I lived here since '74. Mentioned Tamarack National Wildlife Refuge.
Yep.
Do you do a lot on White Earth? A lot of installs there? Yeah,
we've done quite a few. One of our most recent ones, we did an installation on the Workforce Center in Ponsford, which is actually where I went to school. Just down the road from there, from K to 5th. It's the Workforce Center that just started up this last 2 years. We did a 3-panel installation there. We did a training. We had about 14 trainees. We paid them stipends for their time, and it was great to see. Because you talk about that, that encouragement from getting that good news and from stuff like that, and that was one of those moments for me because we, although it was something, that's kind of. We paid them a stipend. It was like $200 or something. But I later that day, after the end of the installation on the last day, I went to town. I was grabbing some groceries, and I saw one of the trainees there. She was with her family, buying some groceries with that stipend.
Nice.
And that was it was a small moment, but it was for me. It helped kind of because you get tired. You're running uphill for so long, right? And to kind of reach that little resting point for a while and get some of that relief is always great.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you. But yeah, we did an installation in at the Workforce Center there, and then we've done installations all over from Leech Lake and Red Lake and Boys Fort and Lower Sioux and Wisconsin, and we've done about 2 or 3 in Wisconsin, and the one place we haven't gotten is Michigan yet. I hope to get into Michigan sometime soon. Having family there myself, so
sure. Yeah.
But we go where the work is.
Yeah. Well, I can't think of anything else to talk about in here. I mean, this is just fantastic. Everything's put together here. The DIY, great. Okay. Well, I will turn these off and turn them back on again when we get out there.
Cool.
That is good.
Let me leave this on.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now here we have the actual panels on the 8th Fire warehouse and manufacturing plant. So, tell us a little bit more about how do you fix it to the outside wall? I guess we'll start with that.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple for the installation. Getting the panels on and measuring out the space is probably the most difficult part. Once you get them on, it's pretty much a breeze. But what we did here is we cut this tin, this siding in the area of the panel with about maybe a 1/2 inch or 1 inch extra around. That's just so we can fit in our J channel and our flashing up top. But once you get that area cut out, and it's just the bare wall and the Tyvek, we find the studs, and we screw in that C channel I showed you with some lags that goes right into the studs.
Sure.
And that sits in that. There's a little gap here, but probably about that big, that runs the length of the panel, and that hooks onto that right there. And once that sits on there, just send some Tech screws through the panel into the railing there, and it's up. And then as far as getting multiple panels together, that stent system I showed you with the stent and the receiver, that goes in between. And then we cut the edge of the panel because there's that gap around it, you know, for the C channel. So we cut out a channel there, a little spot, so we can put them on and slide them down. So we did that here, and slide them down, slide them down, slide them down. And then we use, usually we have a clamp that we use. We kind of put it top, bottom to pull them together to let that caulking set. Sure. To really get a nice seal there. And yeah, so this is 5 of our 10 footers. We did this about almost 2 years ago now, a year and a half ago. We did this with the Leech Lake Tribal College. We had some students come down, about 12 of them or so. Sure. And we did a classroom portion, and then they came here, and we worked side by side with them and our crew and put these panels up in 2 days.
And remind me, you might have mentioned already, but I think of how, you know, people can put batteries in parallel or in series. Yeah. Are these like in series where the air flows through the whole bunch before it goes in, or do they go in one at a time into the ductwork inside?
Yeah, so it's in parallel. So there's a space here and a gap there up top. Okay. So it can flow through the panel as one instead of going, you know.
Right. Because you'd probably lose some energy in that.
Yeah,
okay.
That's how we get the most efficiency, is with the parallel system.
Oh, that makes sense.
But, you know, it just depends. It just depends if, you know, maybe we had a window to go around or something, or, you know, it's all case by case. There's different uses for different systems. Yeah, different designs. Parallel is probably our most popular. That's what we do the most of, because it's the most efficient. So. Yep.
Wow, I can't think of any other questions. I mean, it's one of those things where how many questions can you ask? Because it's so simple.
Itself, yeah.
And you got it on the I'm starting to refer to it as the equator facing side of the house, because for like solar cookers or for solar panels, because there's a big contingent in the southern hemisphere where, you know, you keep saying you're south facing, you face your curve to the south. You know, we got to face it to the north. So, well, equator facing. I don't know if we'll ever change the terminology.
The lingo, yeah.
But that's a little more inclusive. Wow. Now, one question then, warranty. What kind of, do you have a warranty on them?
Yeah, we have a 10-year warranty.
10-year warranty. Okay.
If one of our dealers, that's somebody who's taken our training classes and our installation classes, if us or one of them installs a system, it's a 10-year warranty. Yeah. That's for glass repair. That's for fan burning out. Pretty much anything. That's what's the most that's going to happen. It'd be a glass repair, which is as simple as taking these screws off, vacuuming out that old glass, putting in a new piece, sealing it back up.
Sure.
That's the most that's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, and that's plenty. How about like hail damage or anything like that? Are they tested for that, or?
We haven't. I mean, I've been here 5 years. I've done 4 glass repairs. Mm-hmm. Out of all the systems we sold, and all the systems that have been installed.
And it's really just the glass. Yep. It's not like your PV panels where the PV panel is the thing, and that gets, oh man, yeah. No. Again.
yeah, no kidding. No, this glass is pretty sturdy. I mean, they have pictures of the old Our Real people. They have pictures of people standing on the glass. And it's sturdy. Sure. So it's acid etched and tempered and all that fancy stuff. But yeah, I think just that lawnmower, when it kicks it out, it kicks it just so fast. And but yeah, through hail, I haven't seen anything.
Well, and the other advantage, of course, is you're pretty much going to be flat against the wall. Yep. And hail, if it comes this way, nothing's going to happen. And if it comes this way, it's going to be more of a glancing blow. Yeah. It's probably not as likely to crack it up. So like my panels, it was solar, my PV, they're 45, because we got the 10, 12 pitch rough, so it's perfect. It's perfect for hail, though, too. Like, the hailstorms are going, yeah, let me hit it. It's going to be a direct hit. Yep. We've had minor hailstorms, probably 3 or 4, and I get on my phone and check my PV production, and if that's all of a sudden dropping, you know, because it's usually after a hailstorm, almost, you know how you've seen it happen, you know, a half hour later, it's full sun, And if it's like what it should be, I don't worry about it. Of course, 3 days later, I get the calls. Well, we're in the neighborhood, and you probably have hail damage.
You want us to?
You know what? We got a
no
we got a
kidding.
metal roof, steel roof, and so it's like, right, no, we're good.
No kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, this is beautiful. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, this for taking the time, and it sounds like you're all over the country. You got your sites elsewhere. The word should be getting out.
Yeah.
You know, this is exactly what I mean. I want to spread the word. So, okay. Oh, thanks again.
Yeah, no problem.